Food, for some people, it's on their minds all day long, and that could lead to constant snacking and, of course, overeating. Weight loss expert Mark Patrick is here with a look at some ways that you can save calories with a few simple tricks if you know them. Hi, Mark. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
So we're not talking, when we say tricks, we're not talking about dieting, are we?
No, no dieting tricks.
Because they say diets don't work.
Diets do not work. 95% of the people that lose weight gain it back, but there's that 5% that actually keep it off, and we've studied that success. And if I could give a great tip, if you want to have permanent weight loss, focus on creating your own kind of wake-up call. You know, when somebody stops smoking, they said the biggest way to stop smoking is actually they have a heart attack, and as horrible as that is, that shifts them out of that comfort zone, gives them the realization that something's happening in their life.
It's do or die right now.
Yeah, exactly. So with weight loss, take a look in your life. What is it that you're frustrated with, and use that frustration and use that to get you out of that comfort zone, out of that pleasure zone into action, so to speak.
Well, it sounds easier than it might actually be, you know, to do. How do you motivate yourself to the point of action?
I mean, if you change your view of yourself, the way you see yourself subconsciously, let's say if you see yourself as overweight or unmotivated, and you reinforce that behavior with your self-talk, that little internal communication, you're going to create an image of yourself, and whatever that image is, you're going to behave in that way. You're going to attract all the habits and behaviors in line with that. So instead of focus on necessarily going on a diet, focus on changing yourself internally, or the way you see yourself internally. And the best way to do that is through a series of affirmations and visualizations.
Okay. One of your suggestions is to create a dream team?
Dream team, yes.
What is that?
Well, dream team, if you focus on finding people in your life, I mean, the people closest to us, let's say your partner, or let's say friends around you, sometimes they're good support groups, but they're not always the best support groups. Here's why. They love you no matter what you look like, and they're going to reinforce that, okay? And that's just the way they are. That's human nature. Find people that are like you on an emotional level and a physical level, who have walked through this and have been successful, and copy them and follow them. Be part of some of the support groups that are online if you can't get this personal support. There's places like sparkpeople.com where you have people with the same like minds that are with the same goals, and that creates that kind of communication that you could plug into.
So you find kind of a mentor out there.
Exactly. You got to have a mentor.
But it's got to be outside your immediate world.
It does help to have it outside your
So our
immediate
best
world.
friend is not our best buddy to run with or something?
Yes and no.
Tell us what you mean.
Well, I mean, yes, they are your best friend. They will help you. But sometimes, again, they love you, they respect you, and they don't care what you're like. They're still going to support you. Okay.
Do you think that we need an exercise partner?
Do you need an exercise partner?
Yeah.
It depends on the personality. If you're self-motivated, if you're not self-motivated, it's good to have an exercise partner. It's also good, if you can afford it, to hire somebody that's going to help push you out of your comfort zone. And eventually, once you get out of your comfort zone so much that it's going to become second nature to you, instead of feeling like you have to exercise and being pushed to exercise, you're going to feel more motivated to want to exercise. And the fear of maybe going back and gaining all that weight will keep you from getting back to those old habits and behaviors.
All right, so if it's not our husband or our best friend or our neighbor, who is it going to be, I mean, to go exercise with regularly?
Exercise regularly, it could be, again, you could hire a personal trainer. If you can't afford a personal trainer, you can find somebody at the gym. If you can't find somebody at the gym, there's some awesome DVD programs that, again, find somebody that you relate to on an emotional level that makes you feel good about yourself. Whether that's in person, whether it's online, whether it's on a DVD, and use them to help you get that extra motivation when you don't need it.
And just don't put it off. Do it.
Don't put it off. You got to take action.
All right, so that's exercise. Let's talk about food.
Okay.
Food is a whole issue, right? I mean, there's not only the quantity, but, you know, what kinds of things we're putting on our body. What are some tips?
Well, as far as a great tip I can give you as far as colors, as far as we talk about the color of plates, food manufacturers.
Yeah, you brought some blue plates with you. What are these blue plates all about?
Food manufacturers, especially the fast food industry, understands the power of colors. Red and yellow. If you look at some of the biggest fast food makers, they all use, you said it, okay, they all use red and yellow in their packaging. They understand that red and yellow increases your appetite. It makes you more excited towards things, and you tend to overeat. Whereas colors like blue tend to make you calmer, put your mood in a more relaxed state. And our brain is actually not used to seeing foods that are blue, so when something's on it, it distorts kind of your view of the food. You tend to actually, in studies they found, eat actually a little bit less. Now, blue plates aren't the prettiest for companies, so maybe you want to use them on your own.
I Oh, no, they're not bad looking.
Okay.
Actually, depends on your decor, I guess.
Exactly.
Is blue the only color that works with the brain that way?
Blue seems to be the one that creates the biggest calming effect. And it's not just blue in colors. It could be your kitchen could be a light shade of blue, or actually the color is not necessarily on a plate, but it's colors in your surroundings.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've always heard that colorful foods, when you have lots of different colors represented on your plate, that's supposed to be a good thing. It's supposed to make it balanced.
That's a very good thing. Yeah, the more colors you have, obviously, the more vitamin-rich those foods are.
Okay. What are some other tips?
As far as tips, greatest tip I can give you is to focus on not necessarily what you're doing right now, but to focus on, here's a great thing. Let's say you want to be in a dress size or a new pants size by, summer dresses are coming out.
Sure, well, even wedding. Say that you've got a wedding coming up and you want to get into that size 4.
Don't wait. Go buy the dress or go buy the bathing suit now. And what I want you to do is take it and hang it somewhere in your house where you could see it once a day. You need to make it real in your mind. And what you want to do is synthesize that experience of yourself actually being in that dress. And if you do it prior to it happening, you're going to activate a little group of cells in your brain. I don't want to get too technical, but it'll make you attract that habit to your life and make it real.
Okay.
So you gotta make it real first.
All right. So I'm thinking sticking a little picture on my refrigerator and on the pantry door and anywhere would I go near carby type foods, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Then I get this visual picture of the bathing suit or the dress.
Exactly.
All right, that's a good suggestion. And other than that, maybe hypnotizing ourselves.
We could do that too.
All right, Mark Patrick, thanks so much for joining us today. Some good tips on shedding the pounds.
Thanks for having me.